and could learn and seemed anxious to learn. He was playing the piano at 9 months old is when I sat him in front of the piano. He never really, you'd think as a music major, this is how, I don't know, what's the right word? This is how not forward thinking I was, so that I don't throw out an awful term. But as a music major, you think when I had a child that was born as Patrick was born, I would think about putting him at the piano. It just never occurred to me. And we had a piano at our house. My wife and I did. I call them God stories. My wife played trumpet in high school, but doesn't play a note of piano. But she owned her own home when we met, like a starter home that she had bought. And she needed a piece of furniture for the entrance foyer in this home in an old part. This is not this wasn't an extravagant house. She had an old home in an old section of Louisville, and she needed a piece of furniture for an entrance foyer. So she bought a piano that an aunt or somebody had in their basement because the wood on the piano matched the woodwork in her foyer. And then we started dating after that, and I got the piano working again. And then when we got married and moved to our home, the piano came with us. And think about all those things that happened. Buying that piano, she said she was looking for a church pew or something to hang coats on, and never even thought about a piano because she didn't play. But then Patrick, we moved to that house, and the piano comes with us, and then Patrick's born, and voila, there's a piano at our house for Patrick to learn. Because we were a poor, hardworking young couple. We didn't have money to buy a piano. There never would have been one if all those things hadn't happened, but it was there. So I believe in a little bit of divine intervention in things like that. Anyway. Again, don't want to turn it into my Sunday morning sermon. So we had a piano. Patrick was 6 months old, and one day my wife, after she learned to trust me with her baby, which it took her a few months to say that Dad would be okay with her son, and she was right to think that way too. Anyway, because I'd never been around babies. I was the youngest of 5 kids, and my nieces and nephews all lived out of town with my brothers and sisters. They got away as fast as they could. But anyway, she left me with Patrick one day, and he was screaming and carrying on, and I couldn't get him to be quiet for all the tea in China. He would just not simmer down, this baby. Finally, I laid him on top of that piano and started to play, and just like that, he was quiet. I don't know if it was my incredible gift, or what do we think, Patrick?
Well, we look back on it, we think, who knows, maybe it brought me to a whole new level of terror.
Yeah, maybe I was that bad. But anyway, it worked. And that's how we discovered Patrick liked piano. Anytime he was upset, we could lay him on top of the piano, and I would play, and he would be fine. The vibrations, the sounds, whatever. So I was doing that one day when he was 9 months old, and my wife came in, and she took him off the piano and handed him to me. And I held him in my lap, and I played 3 notes, just at random, and that 9-month-old baby found those 3 notes and played them back to me. And I said, okay, he's smart. He's smart. And by the time he was 2, he was playing all his Sesame Street tapes, Bert and Ernie songs. And his vocabulary, his speech was like, a child not quite 2 years old. It wasn't that good, but you could hear him singing the lines and saying the words and just ripping those little melodies out. It was fantastic, especially as a former music major, or a current music major, since I've got that out there. To share that gift with my son. So anyway, that's how Patrick learned to play piano. We could set him at the piano, and it was amazing. We had to invent reasons to get him away from it because he loved it so much. My dad found an old high chair. We put him in that high chair so he couldn't fall backwards or sideways. He could lay down on the piano, but he was kind of stuck there. We could go to dinner and a movie, and he would still be at that piano when we came home.
Well,
right?
Sure I would. I had nowhere else to go.
Not that we would do that. Not that we would, but we could have. So his love affair with the piano began at an early age. So the years of piano, we got Patrick I keep wanting to walk away from here. In Louisville, Kentucky, where we live, is the American Printing House for the Blind, and right next door is the Kentucky School for the Blind. So we have very good services in our hometown of Louisville, Kentucky for Patrick on an education.